It's 10 a.m. on the East Coast and 5 p.m. in Gaza, where Israel and Hamas exchanged rocket fire for the 13th consecutive night.
Israeli airstrikes hit targets across the Gaza Strip, including some areas in the southern part of the territory that are deemed as safe zones. The latest attacks are raising concerns for the more than 2 million people who are trapped. Meanwhile, Israel has come to terms with Egypt to allow some humanitarian aid into Gaza amid the growing crisis there. CBS News foreign correspondent Ian Lee joins us now from Tel Aviv. So, as you know, Ian, Israel has continued to carry out these strikes. They carried them out in Gaza overnight, even in some of those areas that are deemed to be safe. What are you learning about the damage and the human casualties?
Yeah, Vlad, the death toll continues to rise in Gaza. The number of injured is still quite high. And this is an area that is already struggling with their overwhelmed hospitals, the lack of medicine, lack of supplies, and lack of basic food and water. And so the damage, every time there is a strike, it just compounds the already dire situation in Gaza. We know there have been airstrikes near the Rafah border crossing. That is where they're hoping to have that desperately needed aid come through. And it doesn't seem like there's going to be any end in sight. And really for Gazans right now, they're just trying to find a safe place to go, and there aren't any.
So Hamas blames Israel for Tuesday's hospital blast, but Israel and the United States both say intelligence suggests that the explosion was the result of an errant rocket launched from Gaza. What are you learning about what unfolded? I know it's hard because you have these two competing narratives, and it's our job as reporters to try and understand where the truth is, but it's difficult.
Oh, that's absolutely right, Vlad. You know, trying to find out what happened, especially with something as horrific as a hospital getting hit. You know, both sides fairly quickly came out and said that it was the other one. Hamas came out quickly and said, you know, hundreds of people were killed. And so it was a battle of the narratives between both sides. But the next day, we got a better picture of what the aftermath looked like. There was a shallow crater. Now, military experts will say that that is a sign that it was a failed rocket coming from Gaza, and it was an Israeli airstrike. 500,000-pound, 2,000-pound bombs, they leave big craters, and we didn't see that. They also point just to the damage in the surrounding area, saying it wasn't consistent with a bomb going off. And so that does add to Israel's claim, the United States claim. But militants in Gaza said, well, they're going to provide evidence of the bomb that dropped. We have not seen that. And so we do, you know, it is on them to show their evidence. Israel is trying to show their evidence. But it will likely be some time before we know ultimately what happened. The UN is investigating. We know the president also said his national security team is investigating. Maybe we'll get more from them. But yeah, it still needs some time to really figure out what happened.
So you're in Tel Aviv, Ian. What have you been hearing from the folks there? I note that you're starting to see, and these are from people that I know in Israel, some people that are saying, look, we are also feeling the pain and anguish of the suffering that we've seen happening in Gaza from children that are bloodied. Some of them are shell-shocked. And while there's certainly a sense that Israelis would like to see the hostages return home, and they would like for Hamas to be wiped off the face of the earth. But you're starting to also hear from some, I don't know if it's the majority, so you can tell me, but some people who are like, look, we need to come to an agreement where we end this suffering.
Yeah, you do always have different voices coming out. You know, I've been covering most of Israel's wars with Gaza. I can tell you this time, it does feel a bit different. There is a more determination this time to wipe out Hamas. I think there's a lot more tolerance, at least on the Israeli side, for casualties when it comes to troops going to be involved in the fighting in Gaza. Now, that ground invasion hasn't happened. We don't know when it's going to happen. But talking just to everyday Israelis, they say that, you know, enough is enough. They want to see Hamas eliminated, which is a lot easier said than done. But talking to families of people who've been held hostage, who've been kidnapped and taken into Gaza, they want to see anything done to bring their loved ones home. That includes negotiations, maybe a ceasefire, anything really to bring their loved ones back home. We know that is a high priority of the president. And, you know, it was interesting yesterday when the president was speaking, we heard him say, you know, warning Israel, don't be consumed with rage like the United States was after 9/11 that led to disastrous wars, kind of saying that be careful. It's easy to go in and it's easy to launch a ground invasion. It isn't so easy to pull out from one. Maybe that was the warning he gave to Israel's war cabinet. But, you know, there are calls for, you know, a more restrained approach. But right now I can tell you, just hearing from Israeli officials, they're very much intent on going in and destroying Hamas.
All right, Ian Lee, always appreciate your reporting. Thank you, Ian. The last time Israel launched a ground invasion into Gaza was in 2014. The region suffered major civilian casualties and destruction. And Marie has a look back at that conflict.
Well, Vlad, to understand what led to Israel's ground invasion of Gaza, you have to understand that the summer of 2014 was a particularly tense time. The Israeli-Egyptian blockade around Gaza and constant airstrikes had decimated the economy. Meanwhile, Palestinian armed groups had been launching rockets towards Israel and attempted multiple infiltration attacks using a network of underground tunnels. The match that lit the fuse, though, were the murders of 3 Israeli teenagers and 1 Palestinian teenager, which sparked widespread anger. Israel began a series of airstrikes to destroy Hamas infrastructure. In 2014, one of Israel's stated goals for rolling out a ground invasion was to demolish the underground tunnel network. Hamas used those deep tunnels to get into Israel and Egypt and store weapons. The Israeli military destroyed over 30 tunnels during the 2014 invasion, but the network is still reportedly in use, and Hamas claimed to have over 300 miles of tunnels in 2021. One complicating factor during the 2014 ground invasion was Gaza's urban environment. It's considered one of the densest areas in the world, which can pose a problem for modern military equipment. It also makes it challenging to identify where Hamas militants are within civilian infrastructure. To combat this in 2014, Israel engaged in a series of heavy airstrikes, which it said was to protect the ground troops. The result was massive Palestinian civilian casualties and the displacement of about 28% of Gaza's population. Israel suffered the most military casualties since the Second Lebanon War in 2006.
Anne-Marie, thank you very much.